Yeah, okay, good morning, everyone.
Yes.
I think I've been unmuted and I managed to speak, so It's good to have you all here. I won't add up a lot to the presentations. There have been a lot of interesting presentations and introductions. I think it's a great gathering of experts. I would have even loved, or it would have been even better, if the final objective was to prepare the first ever draft zero for marine spatial planning in Lebanon. I know it's a bit too early, but I saw that we also have few missing key ministries. I'm not sure if they managed to join or not, if they were invited. Anyway, it's just an outside comment. What we are doing regarding MSP, other than what was mentioned by Ms. Samaha from the Ministry of Environment, the direct and the indirect support we've provided to marine protected areas, we're actually, what is ongoing now, we're about to deploy the first ever smart buoy in Lebanon, or the smart buoy in Lebanon, which will be equipped with all the tools and sensors for climatic data collection, meteorological data collection, to establish solid information data bank, which will allow modeling for future scenarios to keep decision makers informed and aware in taking the necessary climatic precautions. This has been carefully planned with the CNRS. Most of the CNRS key staff are available, including the director and so on. So we have planned this, we have added the necessary tools, we have worked together on the design, the depths, the necessary tools and scenarios. We faced a bit of delays due to, as you know, due to COVID, because this unit is being assembled in Italy, produced and assembled in Italy. Some of the sensors are shipped from different parts of the world, the US, Taiwan, France, and so on. So hopefully the unit should be finalized and receives the factory satisfactory testing at the end of next week, the coming week, and should be packed and shipped to Beirut. Well, it's good we didn't have it earlier. It's good that we didn't have it end of July or August. We would have lost it at the harbor. So when the unit will arrive, it will be technically managed by the CNRS, but also we are planning to develop a platform or a network of different local researchers, universities, and experts that would be informed based on their capacities, based on the level of expertise they have and the relevant information they can assess, in order to establish a long-term national platform. And I think this would be the first unit that would help us in additional marine conservation and management for Lebanon. Currently, we're also developing a detailed vulnerability mapping for the main coastal cities. Also, with CNRS, we're developing habitat maps for the deep sea, including different habitats with the bathymetric profiles and so on, as well as the species coverage. With the Ministry of Agriculture, Department of Fisheries and Wildlife, we've been working closely for the past year and a half almost, and working on different gear tags, supporting them in their current projects with FAO, and also we're planning to launch, hopefully, the inshore vessel monitoring system, or which is known as the IVMS. The IVMS goes for fishing vessels that are within the nearshore area where most of our fishing fleet is active. This would also help to understand better and plan better for MSP, so we can understand where the boats are, even though most of us, we think we know, but sometimes we really need accurate data. And we lack this. We don't know where they deploy their fishing gears. We don't know where the vessels operate. So this would be really important. And then on the globally, on the MSP, what we do as IUCN, we have previous experience in producing zero draft maps following series of GIS and prioritization analysis. with the inclusion of data from national and community consultation. So I think this is also very important to include everyone. It's good to have the experts, it's good to have the key ministries, but it's also excellent to spread out to everyone. Because once an MSP is established, it will definitely affect everyone. So it's not only the few of us that are available here, but I think we will really need additional consultation sessions and make it more nationwide. Also for us as IUCN, we see that key principles of marine spatial planning include reliance on the best available science. So in some areas we have a bit of gaps, in some areas we've managed in Lebanon through different international organizations and regional organizations, as well as local research centers and academics. We have enough data to move forward, I think, and we should stop putting this data deficiency everywhere, because we also have a lot of data, but sometimes this data is only kept in drawers. So the idea is to open these drawers and make this research accessible to everyone, because data in the drawer doesn't help anyone. So cross-sector planning, transparent decision-making and consideration, as well as in the economic and the environmental objectives. So it's not only about the environment, we also need to see the economic thing, as we're also prospecting for the oil and gas. I know it's a bit on hold for different reasons, but this has to be included as well. The reliance on best available science allows the government to base planning decision, because decision makers, they need science, but they need the science that is transformed into monetary value or impact value or services value. Because we're not going to give all the Latin names and the scientific names to a minister or a decision maker, because this doesn't really help. So all this has to be translated into the day-to-day business language or decision-making language. This also includes fish population and ecological conditions. Having said this, the participatory process encourages the inclusion of stakeholders in the planning and transparent decision-making, again, to ensure that everybody is accountable, including the government. For marine spatial planning to be effective and enforceable, we need to apply different things. It must incorporate into the country's legislative framework. So we also need a national framework to have this around. And how I see things later on in the future, the key ministries should take the lead, and they should be supported by international organizations, local research and academic centers, as well as local NGOs. It should not be the other way around. It should not be IUCN pushing for it, or IOC, UNESCO, or SPARAC, or anyone else, just to name the few, or even WWF. Because what we see as international organization would differ from what is really needed and what the administrative and legal framework in each country needs, or how it could be adapted. But when the implementation of this, and when the ministries together, especially the involved ministries, they take the lead, so they know what they need, they know what is missing, they know what are the legislative tools that needs to be developed or not. And our role as international organization is to provide the support, maybe do some mediation, try to search and understand or research or assess the missing part, provide support in terms of policy drafting, maybe additional science and research and things like that, and coordination work as well. So this is how I see it. This is how we see it as IUCN. And I think the key ministries in this would be the Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Agriculture, Public Works and Transport, Interior and Municipality, Ministry of Defense, of course, because we have also the Navy and the Army, the Ministry of Tourism, because even if they don't really have a say at the sea, but they also manage different hotels and businesses that are on the coast and in the coast and different activities, as well as the Ministry of Culture, because they have the Directorate General of Antiquities, and where we have different shipwrecks and archaeological sites underwater. So as IUCN, we stand ready to continue to work with our colleagues in Lebanon, and we look forward to the successful launch of the national consultation. I think that's so far from my side. That's it. I tried to be as brief as possible, and I'm happy to answer any other questions later on. Thank you.